I just wanna chill and vibe. Baby girl, keep it real, no lies. She said she's 21, I said alright. If we gon' be grown, then speak your mind. I just wanna chill and vibe. 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 Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Turn up, gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Let's start the show. Only good vibes. No, I'm serious. Let's start the show. Come on, mom. Come on, mom. Only good vibes. Turn up. Turn up.
This is for the Sippas.
Yeah.
Good morning, baby.
Good morning.
Never had something that you never seen, something that you never been.
How about now? Can you hear us now?
All right. So what we were saying was, first of all, hello, welcome back, welcome new Sippas, welcome old Sippas. Buddha and I have been on our hiatus.
Right.
And what have you been doing again, Buddha?
Well, other than relaxing, taking it all in, reevaluating life, reevaluating our love. But last but not least, Sippas Conversations have their own flag football team, on 5-on-5 flag football team, and for a first season together with some of these guys, we went 5-5, and we were placed in the A bracket as far as the best teams in the league for the playoffs.
Yeah, what I was saying is that this season was totally different for me. One, y'all beat up on me enough.
Yeah.
However, I wanted to make a conscious effort to be present with Buddha's passions, versus being there in spirit. Because ain't nothing like having my me time while he gone doing what he doing.
Mm-hmm.
But he, to see my face on the sidelines, really did something to him, and I felt that. So I'm thankful to support consistently this season. We'll see what next season holds. And so with that being said, I actually am going to be putting a list together for the few people that have already said they were interested in having the female version of the flag football. So I will be reaching out to those ladies very, very soon once I put my list together so that we can at least begin talking. The schedule isn't out yet. But I want to make sure at least I start pulling everybody together to decide if we want to do a uniform or we just want to go out and just try it out and then, go from there. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned. Their team sipping. So I don't know what we might want to be. The Lady Sippers.
That'll work.
You know what I'm saying? Lady Sippers represent.
Check this out. Once y'all put that label on, they already know who's gonna be a part of that. For most people who are involved in that particular league, man, they know me intimately.
Yeah. So it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be. One is competitive, but at the same time, it's about just staying fit and having fun, and having the camaraderie. Right. You know what I mean? That's what organized sports are really all about.
Yep.
At the end of the day.
But baby, didn't you do some other things?
So, all right. So it was kind of by accident, but I hosted the first date night poetry spoken words night with Classic. I think it's Classic Entertainment. I'm sorry if I say it wrong. However, that was on November the 16th.
Yeah.
November 16th. And it was over at Novelty here in Orlando. OMG, man, it was such an awesome event. The turnout was perfect. The spoken words, the food, like the special drink of the night called Vibration Libations. Woo! Oh my God. It was awesome. And so it was such an overwhelming response that it's coming back. Okay. And I will be your hostess with the mostest again.
Mm-hmm.
Representing for Sipping the Conversations, Buddha and Baby. Baby will be hosting. There's several people involved with organizing the event and making sure that it pulls off successfully. And so, again, with that being said, December the 16th, the event will be taking place again. I have shared the information with regards to the Eventbrite.
Well, look at it.
Yeah.
It's red and white affair.
And it's going to be, I mean, obviously red and white, but, you know, seems to be my color. But yeah, so what we got going on again, it's Vibrations Red White edition. It's basically a night of spoken words and dancing, and you got some awesome DJs. Classic will be DJing, as well as DJ C Nail. He'll be on the ones and twos as well. Food is catered by Kenya, and there will be desserts by Dre. You all saw at our end of our season the red velvet cupcakes. Well, she's one of the persons that's going to be there for the desserts for purchases.
Last time they had a vegan option for those who don't eat meat.
Right, they do. They made sure they were able to accommodate as best as possible. And one of the good things about once you purchase your ticket for admission, it includes the food. Now, there is a separate cost for the desserts, and they do have $30 hookahs that will be all night long.
And you pay for your own drinks.
Pay for your own drinks, of course. But there, I don't know exactly what the price is. I don't know if it's going to be the same, but there is a drink special price for the vibration libations. But it is good. I won't be able to partake as heavily as I did because, unfortunately, I have to go to work the next day.
Unless you get sick.
I can't. Because, unfortunately, again, I'm actually the speaker for a webinar that's going to be on that Friday.
Imagine that.
But the good part is, after Friday, I will be off and I won't go back to work until January the 10th.
Yay.
Go, baby. Go, baby. So.
What you sipping on, baby?
What you sipping on? No, how was your day?
Oh, my day was great, man. I'm glad that all y'all online shoppers are slowing the hell down. You know what I'm saying?
My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got to keep us in business.
Right.
I know I'm part of the catastrophe, but
okay, I like
somebody got to do it.
What you got going on there? It look colorful.
I know, right? So, what am I sipping on? I'm sipping on what I want to call this.
I don't know.
We're gonna call this razzle dazzle.
Oh, okay.
I got a razzle dazzle.
Okay.
And the razzle dazzle is vodka with fresh blueberries in there.
Mm-hmm.
Infused with blueberry and some cranberry ginger ale.
Who knew?
Razzle dazzle. And my day was pretty well. Got a few things happening. So we're just gonna sprinkle into the atmosphere and see how these chips fall.
Okay.
I threw it up. Mm-hmm. Now, what I want to know is over these last few weeks,
right?
When you mentioned earlier about getting, more acquainted with your love life and so forth, what did you mean by that?
I mean, a lot has happened. Sometimes us as men, we get complacent and we take our mates for granted, and so I issued a challenge to Babi about a 7-day couples challenge where we post pictures of us together. What she didn't realize is how in depth I was gonna go. Like each picture had a meaning, and each picture had a song to go with it. Majority of it was a song at the time as we were doing these pictures. You know what I'm saying? I really put some real thought into every picture that I put on our own individual social media sites. It was definitely a roadmap to where we came from to where we're going, from my perspective.
Yeah. Well, for me, I thought it was, it was kind of random, but I know that, behind the scenes in a relationship, you gotta remember the date. You know what I'm saying? And so we wanted to figure something out. And so when Buddha came up with the idea, I was like, all right, let's run it. And so for me, I think that digging into pictures and moments allowed for me to reflect on a time where it felt good. I mean, there's a lot of great feelings. I think, and I mentioned in my last post, like it wasn't hard per se, to do it because I wanted to, but at the same time, where it got hard is choosing what moment was like that moment, and because there were so many great moments, and then to put it out there in the atmosphere. So that was the little, that was where it got hard. It's like, I don't know which one, I don't know what picture, because if I take that picture of wherever we were, I was having a great time, and we, so I really appreciated, it was different pictures from
14 different pictures.
Right, 14, well, videos and pictures, GIFs, pictures, videos. I did a different combination. He was like, "You trying to one up on me?" I mean, but it was just because that was like showing what was special to me, and I really, really appreciated that, because again, it's so important that, as Buddha mentioned, that you don't get complacent, that you don't get too comfortable, which leads us into what we're talking about tonight. And so tonight, our topic is ultimately about couples getting too comfortable / complacent, because it happens. And it happens even to the best of us. It happens whether you are in a committed relationship, married, whatever. It happens, right? And one of the things I always fuss and fight about is about us not forgetting to date each other. And because of this last week and just leading to it, I think we've come to the solid conclusion that you're right, we need to start dating, because when you be dating, everything on the table.
That's it, man.
All the wild stuff.
Really?
All the fun.
Do tell.
All the fun times. The little sweet things, Like he is, like one thing I can tell y'all, many know, but those that don't, Buddha is very romantic.
Whoa.
He's a finesser. So romance, that type of kind of stuff, your boy owned it. All right. Never mind the fact he's an A1 chef.
Okay.
Hands down, he can outcook me. I ain't even mad, because I asked the universe to send me a man that can cook. All right. I should have probably been a little bit more specific.
Like have a 6-pack.
I ain't worried about that, but put the gas in the car.
Oh, somebody shots fired. We just got to talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Now I went a whole season and got beat up. So goddamn it. There's hope.
Listen, man.
There's hope.
Oh, that's what we're doing now. All right, keep going. So keep saying, is that where you're gonna end up?
Well, I just look at it that when outside of social media,
right?
Because see, one of the greatest complications, or I shouldn't say challenges, that I've been seeing over the last 10, 11 years being on social media is how heavily people use social media as a platform, a baseline. I mean, not just so much as social media, but entertainment, just even entertainers and celebrity lives. But now that we're in this social media era, it's migrated from the real talks and, all that, whatever.
Everybody got a voice now, man.
Right.
Everybody's got a voice. They're happy. They go lucky. It's out there. And if you ain't careful, man, it'll swallow you alive.
Right, because these elaborate engagement parties, big ups to you all. No disrespect, right? Do what you gotta do. Well, who are you doing it for at the end of the day?
Yeah, right.
Are you doing it for love, for your mate? But then there's this big old drawn out struggle because you need this person to see it. You want all the people, you want to be picked up on this network, you want to be on the next hashtag, and all right, I get it, because there are perks that come with it, but at the same time there's also a lot of consequences as well, a lot of unwanted attention. Then you got to start keeping up at that level, so just be mindful of that. But nonetheless, back to couples getting complacent and comfortable. Well, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it happens more often than not, man. Maybe not so much in the beginning because everything is new, but once you get in some years, you get seasoned into the relationship, you come to expect different things from your mate because this is what they do. Like me, I cook all the time. When I don't cook for a week, what's going on?
You don't love me.
I don't love you. That's what you think. Or, just the little subtle things that you do just to make sure I'm okay, right? I take that stuff, like making sure I have soap. I'm making sure I have the little things, my little toiletries, like toothpaste, a new toothbrush, things you think I don't see and understand that you do, right? That I appreciate. But if you're looking for that, sometimes you look for the attaboy, the pat on the back for some of those things. And if you don't get it, it makes you pull back a little bit. Not you, but people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Pull back for a little bit. So I like to say, don't get caught window shopping. Right? I like to say, don't get caught window shopping. And what that means to me is you're in this relationship for a reason. You should understand why you're there, why y'all coexisting together, what is the end goal for whatever it is that y'all trying to do with each other. Mm-hmm. And don't be, when you window shop, you see other people happy and you see other people getting the things that you may not get, like somebody pumping gas, right? And then you start imposing your desires on an already made situation, which is a smooth running machine. You know what I'm saying? And if it comes unwarranted, meaning that that's not something they feel like they need or want to do, it becomes a negative undertone to what you guys have going on.
So let me just ask, just using that as an example, if it was communicated,
right,
well before you start seeing other people doing the thing that you, whatever it is,
right,
just using gas as an example, I joke with him, but he knows that really is something that but I learned to pick my battles. You know what I mean? So if I'm seeing these things and it's like, well, why are you? The question for me is why? Why are you choosing not to do it? Is it because you think that you're being compared, or are you just like the why. Let's try to make it make some sense, because it's a small gesture. But at the same time, I think that I can get away with it so long as there are not other areas that don't need to be, that other areas basically slacking. You can't not do all the things. A couple of things, you can work with a couple of things, but when you don't do nothing, that's when it starts to get. And then now, just using examples, not saying this is accurate information, but that now I'm not gonna get that body wash. I'm not gonna make sure you got your toiletries. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, because clearly we having this struggle. But then, as you continue doing that, I'm not gonna do this because you're not doing that. You're not gonna do this because. But we still in this relationship, and now the only thing that's happening is building of resentment.
Right, but I feel like in certain aspects, like if you are asking, you find yourself asking, like you said, you find yourself asking for the things that you desire, you want, right? And if it's not in that person, then it just ain't in that person. But if you choose to continue to be with that person outside of those things, then what are you truly saying? Now, hold on. Before you jump down, hold on. But then you got to turn around and ask yourself, are you doing all the things that you need to do? It's easy to point the finger or saying what somebody else is doing if you're not doing all the things that they require of you. I'm not saying that you do or don't. Then why are you out there pointing the finger about doing this, that, and the third? You see what I'm saying?
Well, I'm looking at when you say it's not in them, it's in all of us to do a thing.
Right.
It's just a matter of wanting to do it.
I mean, I get what you...
Especially realistic tasks. Now, I personally wouldn't ask you to go build me a house.
Yeah,
but I know you can make a house a home.
Okay. But that's what I'm saying.
That's what I mean.
What I'm saying to you is if it ain't in your nature, let's go out and let's say to cut grass, right? That's something that you just don't do. You rather pay somebody to cut the grass or whatever you may do, versus another person want to see their man out there cutting the grass. You see what I'm saying?
So then I'll use the same example of Buddha wanted Baby to be out there at that football field. It was not in me.
For many years. Not just for many years.
But it was I want to call it a learned behavior. But at the same time, it was more like I valued my me time, and I was using that as my do nothingness. I had plans for my time that would otherwise be spent on the football field, right? But because it meant so much to him, I now mentally reprogrammed myself, relearned to do something that would make my mate happy. That really wasn't taking me out of my way to, you know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't want to do the damn thing because I value my me time.
But here's the thing, like even in that scenario, which I'm very appreciative, right? Even in that scenario, it kind of was like I led by example.
He did. So,
like, she played kickball.
But I didn't care about that.
You didn't? I mean, you didn't care.
Because that's what you do.
Right. But the point is, when it was a noticeable change when I couldn't make it than when I could, do you think?
No.
You just didn't care.
I never
cared. Didn't care.
But I understood that you needed to, you just as tired as I am, especially my games were not on the weekend. My games are during the work week. So You know, work 10, 12 hours, and now you come, here it is, you're going to go out there and watch, spend an hour, with me to watch and participate and so forth. So that I understood, even if you wasn't going to be able to make it, I understood it and I respected the fact that you took that time, but that wasn't the determining factor behind me choosing to come out and support you.
So it goes back to the idea, before we see what the people say. It goes back to the idea of what is your love language, acts of service,
right,
quality time,
right,
etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I never knew what it would be like to have my mate, at a football game or supporting anything that I've done, because until this right here, until this season, I never had that in none of my in most of my relationships. You know what I'm saying? Nobody came to support me in those events. I always went by myself. So it was a pleasant surprise to know, and my team, our team, they definitely enjoyed the eye candy that you brought with you.
So let's see what the people saying. All right. So what if someone got something going on and it looks good, and what? MWVWR. What the hell?
I don't know.
You gotta tell me what that means. It said pick a struggle.
Okay.
Which is understood, and I guess, and then what you said, love languages. Mm-hmm. I do have an acts of my love language. One of my top one is acts of service. So that really razzle dazzles me when you're doing the things, the stuff that works better for me, because you can fry chicken with your mouth. Yes, capacity. He or she might not have the capacity. I think that, me personally, I think that many of us have the capacity. It's ultimately, do we have the desire? That's what I think. But I'm just one of many people. So let's see here. Which is more important? Not doing what is not in you or making your partner smile?
Oh, for me, it all depends on what I value more, to be honest with you. Personally, I'm a giver. I like to make sure she's okay. So making her smile, Vanessa, you want to call it? If you making her smile, it means more to me. But I have been also on the other side where I love myself more than I love them, and I didn't really give a damn whether they smiled or not. Hopefully their smiles lined up to my agenda.
Well, ultimately, it was based on your agenda.
All right.
At the end of the day, it was like your agenda had nothing to do with whether whether they smiled, whether that person smiled or not. That had nothing to do with your agenda.
But then you got to ask that question, Hoodoo. Like, in the relationship, where does selfishness play a role? Because it always does. It plays a role into the fact that if your mate is looking, or somebody's looking at your mate, how do you feel about it? They better not be crossing that line. I'm gonna fuck them up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you said the B word, so I can get to say whatever word I want to say. You know what I'm saying?
For the people that might, this is extremely a mature audience platform. Please don't set yourself up for failure by coming along and thinking that there won't be any vulgar language.
So, like real talk, selfishness always plays a role, at least in the beginning, because everybody wants to they out to get what they want. They out to be happy, right? You're not going to settle for a relationship for anybody if they don't meet these desires that you need to be met. That's a selfish idea. That's selfish ideology out the gate.
Now,
Because
there's moments to be selfish,
right? I mean, I get it.
Like I said, I value my me time.
So, and exactly, and then you valuing your me time only was able to get us to a certain point. But when you took yourself, got out your own way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this question: did you see a change and a shift in what we were able to become? Just a question.
Well, I had already mentally began shifting because, like I said,
right.
For me, in order to grow and elevate, you have to be willing to do something different. If you've tried these things and this was the level of success, in order to go to your next level, you're going to have to push the bar. And so I'm a firm believer in fuck it, let me see if that works, and go with it, go with greatness, you know what I mean? And so far, things have, I think, there's been a shift in just I don't want to say tension, but just areas. So
yeah, I mean, like as a man, we just have the tendency of making sure we are protectors, we're leaders, we're providers. Not saying that women don't do that too, because the women do an excellent job of providing as well. We are all these things, but we get this moniker of that's what a man's supposed to do, and don't be celebrated. We don't really get celebrated for the things that we do, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And if we bring attention to these things, then they think we're overly sensitive. And why are we complaining, or why are we bringing this stuff up when aren't you a real man? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of like our feelings and our emotions and our the things that we go through on a day they get overlooked or minimized for the greater good of a relationship, because what?
Yeah.
I mean, there's two people in a relationship, but it only seems like in certain aspects of it, us as men get overlooked in these relationships.
And men do often get overlooked, and it's up to we, the women, to assist in changing the narrative. However,
nigga, do your job.
Period. I don't get into the real man, real woman. A mature, responsible adult, adult male, a mature, responsible adult woman will do the things that's necessary. However, I don't want to say however, but however, everybody's limitations vary. Right. So what I'll put up with may not be the same as Buddha.
Right.
And to each of you all. So my fuse is very short in a lot of areas, but it's extremely long in other areas, which is weird. But then it's the opposite with us. So it's like,
I mean, that itself is a learning curve either. Like what makes you tick in a relationship is very interesting. The things that I may, like she said, I may let slide because it's not really something I find that it's important to me.
Yeah.
That may be important to her.
Yeah.
Right. We all know across the board, ladies, making sure you leave the toilet seat down is important to all ladies across the board. I mean, you know what? I could walk in and look, put the seat down, and do what I need to do.
Didn't even think about it. It could be that cup was sitting there. right? And I know you were sitting, the cup was in front of you. How do you walk away from the cup? All right. Just pew, not even thinking about it. So when I think about people becoming comfortable or complacent, couples, if you, it's kind of like you got to start what your expectations are out the gate. Because I know it's so easy to get caught up in the moment while you're dating and you're trying to make such a good impression, men and women alike, right? And so what happens is you don't really talk about the things you like and don't like. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so when you don't talk about the things you like and don't like, or what actually is your pet peeves and all of those things, because you so caught up in they spending money on you, spending time on you, and all this, the sex is the bomb. So you ain't even thinking about it, right?
You done went from lasting 2 hours to 10 minutes.
You know, but I mean, it's like, but when you don't talk about, right, and I get it, expectations do change and evolve. Yes, it absolutely does. However, let's just say if it's natural for me to cook. Let me just say if it was me, but it ain't. But if it was me and I'm cooking and I'm cooking, I do the cooking. And then, a few years later down the line, and I'm like, all I wanted was some gas in the car. Now I'm up here cooking and making sure you got all your things done. And you telling me on Sunday you can't go and put the gas in the car, you're going to make me go to work, go on my way to work. I got to stop to put gas in it. But I done made sure you had a home cooked meal and you went to play football and you was in here watching football after you left from playing football. And you ain't had to do nothing but sit there and watch football. And I brought you your plate, your adult beverage, your water, all your things. Breathe. Take the plates away. Go clean the kitchen up. But see, some would say that's just being a woman.
Right. But this woman here don't do all that. But
I'm just using examples.
She rolling down this line of things to do, but she don't do all of that.
She do a lot of that.
She do a lot.
But she don't do all of that.
But what she do, she do well. But what I do is I watch my football. That she ain't never lied about.
I'm just you. Now listen, y'all.
I watch my football.
This ain't no real stuff we talking. These are just fragments of some
but
truths.
Hold on. I watch my football, but I cook and watch my football. That I do.
He will. Now listen, let's just go on for the record. Let me just say it for the record. Baby was a single parent with 3 children. She did everything. Mm-hmm. All she wanted was her knight and shine to come through
and do
all those things. I did not, and I ain't got no children no more. I don't have any more children.
They're all grown.
They grown. They self-sufficient. Okay, and so I just want the great payback. And look at God. Come on, Buddha. All praises to the Most High. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
But I made sure when I ain't cooking, he got every meal that he would desire delivered to him expeditiously. He get his favorites.
Yeah, like the General Whole chicken.
He can get pork, and I don't eat pork. I'll make sure you get a whole slab of ribs. He be in here just getting home from work, and doot, doot, doot. And he be like, all right then, okay. See what baby got. Because clearly baby be still at work. Yes, sir. She show up now.
I give you a problem. You are an excellent woman.
I will make sure the provisions, because that's my acts of service.
That's it. And me, for the most part, My love language, which, before I say it, based on my actions, right? Based on my actions, baby, what would you say is my love language?
Words of affirmation.
Oh, Vanessa, all the way up.
That's like your top one.
Really? Oh, wow.
He's out on love.
I think first things first.
It damn sure ain't acts of service.
Oh, no, it ain't. It definitely ain't.
And it ain't gifts.
Nope.
So what we got? Oh, quality time.
That's number one.
Yeah, definitely that.
That's number one.
No, quality time and acts and words of affirmation.
Listen, they go hand in hand.
He gonna cuddle the shit out your ass.
I'm gonna cuddle the shit out you, and I'm gonna talk to you, and you gonna fall in love. Damn it, that's what happens every time.
Physical touch, that's in there, but yeah, that's probably like number 3 for him.
Mm-hmm.
For him, and that's probably physical touch. You ain't gotta touch me. That's like at the bottom.
Yeah, sure, Leah. But
I want to be touched when I'm ready to be touched. Don't touch me.
For her, not knowing, I mean, I know, but just giving off the top, acts of service, you gotta show she's a show me type person. Like she should have been from Missouri. So it's like, show me you love me. Then you gotta tell me how much you love me, because you know she loves to be buttered up. And then I would say quality time. In that order.
I would probably go with acts of service.
Yeah, that's the first one I
right.
said.
Gifts.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot that. Ooh.
Gifts.
Well, that kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You know, show me you love me. How? Did you give me the latest new what not? Oh, okay.
I mean, it don't even mean the gifts ain't even gotta be big trinkets. I'm a little finicky when it comes to big things. Now, if you want to drop a few stacks, I ain't mad at you, but you know, just get me my flowers now.
Are you living? Okay, I get it.
Those type of things.
The gifts to me are probably at the bottom. That's probably like the last thing on my list.
Yeah, because when I get him stuff, he be like, "Oh, baby, you didn't need to do that." I'll be like, "I know I didn't, but you know."
You might would have just touched me. You know what I like.
His nasty ass.
Yeah, but at least I kept it PG.
Yeah, you tried. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. The topic is ultimately couples getting too comfortable and complacent. What does that look like?
Well, it looks like a person who is underappreciated. You know what I'm saying? Looking for a person who's looking for reciprocity on a relationship that they felt like it takes two. Maybe they were the one giving, and maybe their partner was the one that was taking, and they feel like they're the one that needs to take and let the partner give. But that's not always how relationships are. You know what? Just in having this conversation and talk about relationships, I would always, and this is me being transparent with everybody, not about a relationship with me and Baby, but about a different relationship. Mm-hmm. So I would always look to what my parents wasn't doing, right? I always look to what my parents wasn't doing, but understanding me needing to understand what my role is as a human being, as a key cog to that family dynamic, in doing and living in that. So I'm a person who has those qualities to make sure we all stay together. So what does that mean? Maybe that means I might have to be the one to make the phone call, right? Maybe I may need to be the one to do all the checking up on, because they may not do it as much, and relishing that role instead of resenting the fact that they're not being there for me. Like I say this sometimes, a couple of people who know me, who checks on the checker, right?
Yeah.
Who checks on the person who's checking on everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you get wore down in the jobs that you do so well, that you just want to be able to receive that same level of energy from somebody else onto you.
Yeah, no, that's major, because who helps the helper?
Right, who helps the helper?
Who's checking? And you do get tired of, and you get burnt out. And if you are a taker, you just have the routine. As when I ask what does it look like, it looks like a routine. It looks like separation. That's true, and because, again, far often you get caught up in the mundane routine of things. Like every day, this person, your mate, expects that you're gonna come and you're gonna do these things, and then even yourself believe that you're gonna be doing that thing. Like you've already planned what you're going to be doing before you even got off of work, or before before whatever it is. And and it has to happen that way. And so if you're adamant about that being what it is, how it's going to be, absolutely, I'm going to sit back out the goddamn way too.
Well, someone says she helps herself. I get it. But I'm gonna go back.
She tired. She's tired.
I'm gonna go back to the example that we use about you coming out to the games versus not coming out to the games, because you value your me time,
right?
Which is you need that. So, is it you valuing your me time more important than your mate thinking you give a damn about the things that they care about?
Right.
So, B, getting comfortable in the idea that you don't do the things that support me in that way, can trickle over down in other areas of our relationship. You see what I'm saying? Because now I don't feel like you care. I'm not saying you don't.
Right.
But people can say, well, you know what? They don't care about that. Then that's how other shit creep in. A female or a man, whatever it may be, can be like, oh shit, this is my opportunity because I have a slot where I can put a chink in the arm.
Cause she ain't coming out there, or he ain't gonna be there, because that's not what they do. Blah blah blah.
Right.
So yeah, I can see it creating an
avenue for somebody else to infiltrate your system, infiltrate what you built. You know what I'm saying? If you go back to that great book called the Bible, Jacob and the boys, they just kept walking around the goddamn wall, beating that drum until they found a goddamn weak link, and then the wall fell down.
But now, with that regards, at this point, when someone is able to infiltrate,
right,
that is a bona fide time that it's time to talk.
Yeah, it is time to talk. Then that comes into what you said. But that comes into the next portion of what complacency in a relationship could happen is you know how the outcome of the conversation is going to come. So you set yourself up for what it is going to be. You know what I'm saying? If I say this, you're going to say that. So I'm not going to say that, or I'm not going to bring it up because I don't want to hear what they got to say. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
You understand where I'm coming from? Okay. You start to, be the maestro on how you receive the information. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't necessarily want to receive the information in that way or deal with the consequences on the information because of what it may make you feel.
Yeah. It's interesting, you know, because but again, I think ultimately what I want to come out of this conversation is, what does it look like being too comfortable or too complacent? That's the takeaway, because when you are now at the point where you can identify that happening, what's the next step?
Well, I mean, the next step after you identify what your flaw or what the flaw is figuring out the way to, if it can be rectified, figuring out a way to rectify it.
Or do you want to?
Do you want to? Meaning, if you do rectify this, are you going to lose yourself?
Right.
In the thing it's going to take to make that relationship work versus is it beneficial to you and them? Maybe you need to cut your losses and walk away.
Yeah. Well, nobody is able to infiltrate unless you open that door.
Well, I'm not going to say that.
Yes.
Because if you're doing the things that you feel is right, and that's all you know what it is to be right, and somebody comes in and do something different, that so-called person didn't even know that they did like it, then how do you know that the door was open in the first place? That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So,
because the old saying is, closed mouth don't get fed. I'm just saying.
So I'm agreeing with you in certain aspects, but you only go to the capacity of what your experiences are. So if you experience something out of your norm and you realize you like it, think about it. I'm about to get graphic now because she didn't already open that door.
Wait, time out. How graphic?
I'm going all the way
Don't
there.
Don't go too far.
I'm going there. So let's talk about sex. Yes. We're going to talk about sex. So in the beginning, you got straight poundage. For most people, they got straight poundage. Until that first time, Joe blew. You know what I'm saying? Put his mouth on that thing, and you like, wait a minute, I think I like this too. But in the beginning, you were just getting straight ding-a-ling. Right? And that was good. Straight ding-a-ling was good. But then he went to put his mouth on that thing, and he changed it. Then they went a little different now. It went a little different. They started putting the mouth on the coochie. Then they slid down into the other part of it, and they really changed the game now. You know what I'm saying? Now women out here ask you, do you eat groceries? They come out the gate and ask you if you eat groceries now. They say, what the hell is stuff, man? I'm just saying. You know I'm telling the truth, baby. You know I'm telling you.
Don't worry.
But what I'm saying is, you're only limited to your experience. So, like, if you haven't experienced it, just like when I vegan bar, if I don't experience that type of cooking, right? How do I know if it's good or not? Right? But guess what? She put it in my life, and I can see why people could go on.
Put it in my life.
I can see why people go turn to that way of life because the food isn't that bad. You see what I'm saying?
Right. No, it really isn't.
You know, so
and it's much healthier for you anyway. So there's that. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
I said a whole lot and a whole little bit.
I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him, y'all. This was episode 1 of season 14. So we got 11 more weeks to go starting tonight. Each season is not a year. Each season is 12 weeks. So that means you're going to be brought 12 weeks, okay? Real talk about real life from real people. You're going to find that we're going to have some guests that comes in that may be virtual streaming with us, or they may actually be sitting at the table. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, but it's happening. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
What we got? We have December the 16th.
Right.
So come out and show your support.
I don't know. I might be out there spending a little something. You never know. Hey, listen. So what I'm going to do is, since I've been asked to do a little something, I am going to write a new, fresh piece that I haven't wrote in years. Just for the I might, you know what? I'm going to write 2 pieces. Just for the novelty. Yes. Right? Hopefully I get a chance to say both of them to come from different perspectives. So if you, as a sipper, want to hear these pieces, please show up. One might be nasty, or it may not be nasty. It might have something to do with love. Another one, well, you're just going to have to check it out. Put gas in the car? Really? That's where we're going?
Oh, also this season. Well, first of all, thank you all that tuned in tonight. Thank you all that will listen to this on the audio platforms. We are on all the audio platforms. Mm-hmm. If you are looking for us and you want to determine which audio platform you can find us, you're more than welcome to always visit us at www.boodandbaby.com. That'll give you like events, like things that's happening. It gives you some of the most recent shows, but it will also get you to 2 things: our store for merchandise, and it'll take you to where all of our audio platforms are. Okay, so with that being said, for this season only, we are going to be offering a 15% off discount if you use the code SIPPIN, SIPPIN. And so if you put that in when you get ready to check out, you'll get 15% off of all of the merchandise that's on the website. So again, you can find that at www.boodandbaby.com, and that's baby with an I, not a Y. Get into it. If you're interested in giving us a topic, or you would like to have a question answered in the form of a topic,
or you just want to be on the show.
You add value to what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? Pull up on me.
Okay.
Y'all that's gonna be listening to this, and you didn't see that, y'all should have seen the face that he gave me, like, really?
I'm gonna pull up on her. Just like what's that girl named Patra? Pull up on my bumper, baby.
Oh, all right. So listen. Same time, same energy next week. You know how it go, right? You know what I'm saying? Same time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Boo and baby, thank y'all, because we bye, baby.
And there's only one to give it up.
We sipping in conversation. Sipping in conversation.
Beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up, Scotty.
Sipping in conversation.